Assalamu alaikum students. Well, we are going to discuss today the disorders of nervous system. Well, before going to the topic, I just want to share a word of wisdom. Well, the word of wisdom here is the quotation of a famous philosopher as well as a statesman of Russia, Leo Tolstoy, and he said the sole meaning of life is to serve humanity. So, students. It has a very good message, and the message is to be the servant of humanity, to serve the fellow human beings, and this actually will result in a society where lesser are the sufferings, and this will actually help us in building a sense of brotherhood, a sense of manhood among the human beings, and eventually one will be able to face our Almighty God with a happy and satisfied ego. Well, now coming to the topic, actually, the topic is actually we are going to discuss disorders of nervous system. Well, there are two types of disorder of nervous system. Well, as we all know, nervous system is actually the central part which controls and which is one can say the headquarters of all the functions. All the functions are monitored, controlled, handled, ordered, decided here at the nervous system, nervous system. So this nervous system, if suppose it basically become dysfunctional or leave its functions or become malfunctioning, then this can be referred as the disorders of nervous system. Well, there are two types of disorders of nervous system. Number one is vascular disorder, and the second one is functional disorder. Well, vascular disorder, boys and girls, actually is a nervous system that is due to the disturbance in the blood supply. Well, when your blood actually is not properly reaching your brain or your nervous system, it can be CNS or PNS, then my dear students, this disorder take place. And a classical example of vascular disorder is paralysis. The second type of disorder is functional disorder. Well, in functional disorder, as its name shows, basically, there is a disturbance in the proper functioning of the nerve impulse. It disturbs the functioning of the nerve impulse, and so the impulse generation and transmission is disturbed. That's why it's called functional disorder. And the classical example of functional disorder is epilepsy. Well, paralysis basically is it is a complete loss of function by one or more muscle group. Well, student, actually, the loss of functioning of the muscles is not due to the reason that there is something going on in the muscles or something has disturbed the physical composition or physical functioning of muscles. Actually, the blood, when is blocked in the brain, well, the portion that is to be receiving the blood is unable to receive, and that particular portion certainly might be controlling some particular muscle, the movement of some particular muscle. So when the blood, that part is damaged, then it cannot send message properly to the muscles, to the muscle groups. Although The blood is going on in the muscle. The muscles are living. They are not dead living cell. But due to the lack of coordination from the brain to that muscle group, it is unable to move, and that's why it is called paralysis. Well, the reason and the causes that paralysis occur, well, it is the damage to the nervous system, CNS, brain or spinal cord. Well, certainly blood clotting in the blood vessels, blood can clot, and even then the poison that produced by the polio virus also basically hammer and damage the portion of the brain which is receiving the blood. Well, effects of paralysis is very much evident. Well, loss of functioning. It can be in a variant way. It can be a weak sort of paralysis, just the mouth paralysis, or it can be the paralysis of one side of the body or the lower extremities, or in all the four limbs. So it depends upon the attack or the effect of paralysis, and this have different, depending upon the situation and depending upon the damage that is done, the functional deficiency occur, starting from single mouth up to the whole lower body. So it depends upon like this. Well, you can see from the diagram, these are the types. Well, the classical representation of figurative representation. Well, you can see here is, only the right limb is disturbed, only the right side is paralyzed, two limbs are paralyzed, the whole lower section approximately, rather only the head is the one which is properly functioning. Otherwise, the whole body is paralyzed. So these are the types, basically, and you can see from this diagram actually. Well, you can see the blood. This is the blood vessel that is supplying blood to the areas, particular areas of the brain, and suppose it is blocked. Well, when it's blocked, certainly the blood basically cannot reach the brain, and eventually the brain, the portion of that of the brain basically will be non-functional, and eventually that portion that is controlling some sort of limb or muscle or whatever part it is controlling, it will be damaged and will not function. Well, the next type is that of functional disorder. Well, epilepsy. Well, epilepsy, you can see from the diagram. Well, this diagram basically shows you that the abnormal discharge actually in the brain. Well, this is actually the reason. As we know, the nervous system is basically made for transmitting nerve impulses and messages. Well, the messages actually received and sent by the brain is totally fluctuated and abnormal. So this is actually, your epilepsy is a nervous disorder in which there is abnormal and excessive discharge of nerve impulse in the brain. Well, the effects of epilepsy is that basically it causes unprovoked seizures. Well, these seizures actually are shock sort of, and it is the abnormal, temporary abnormal state of brain marked by convulsions, right? So this is about the effect. Well, now the causes actually younger people actually is genetic and developmental cause. Well, I mean it is certainly inherited character as well, and it can be caused by some developmental factor during the development of a young child or people. Well, and on the other hand, if your age is 40 years plus, then Brain tumors are the more likely reason of causing the epilepsy. Apart from these two causes, well, your head trauma or any sort of infection at any age can cause epilepsy. Well, now about the treatment, student. Actually, it has no primary cure. There is no primary cure. One can say that we have controlled on epilepsy and it is finished, or there is no proper cure. The only thing that one can do is just to reduce the effect of seizures. Well, we can control it. And we can reduce the effect of seizures. Well, the patient of epilepsy have to take the medicines by doing this, and daily he has to take the medicine, as well as some preventive measures that are necessary for seizures. Well, it is said that the person which is basically having a problem of epilepsy, he should, number one, he should not go to swimming pool or in river or in water, just swimming, that is basically technically wrong. And secondly, he is advised not to travel alone because it can be dangerous. Well, the medicines that are used to reduce the effect and control seizures are anticonvulsant and epileptic drugs. Well, prevention of the measures of the seizures. Well, in the seizures, as I have told you, one also preventive measure is when seizures are occurring, then one should avoid to put something in the patient mouth. One there is a reaction. There is a first-hand reaction that if there is somebody having a problem, we just take the glass and we just run to the person and just try to give him some sort of water, imagining that it may help. But in seizures, really you really have not to put anything in the patient mouth, because its nervous system is not working, its swallowing process is not working, and even its tongue is not working properly, the teeth, jaws are not working properly, and eventually he can bite his own tongue. This is the diagram of actually an event, and actually this sort of, well, there are convulsions, and the patient actually has to pass in such movements, and it's a very, very awkward sort of situation actually, and there is saliva coming out as well, and he also cry, and post well, he feels lethargic, confused, and these are all the signs of seizures. Well, now at the end, well, students, the knowledge of nervous system actually has very, very vital importance. Well, by this knowledge, by knowing the whole scene, the whole scenario of nervous system, the whole process of nervous system, man become able to actually to know about what sort of portions of the brain and the spinal cord controls what part of the body, and how messages are transmitted, and how actually transmitted from the brain to the other parts of the body, and how the message are carried back from the parts of the body to the brain. So its knowledge is very important, as it has helped man in diagnosis of treatment of nervous disorders such as paralysis and epilepsy. Man has discovered the areas of the brain that receive information from different sense organs, and the areas that send messages to different effectors. Well, this knowledge actually has helped us in the identification of the malfunctioning of the brain. Well, that's all for now, and student, your only home task is just to be connected with our portal and watch the videos of the lessons carefully. They are made for you people, so to enhance your concept, and wishing you best of health. Stay home, stay safe.